بحلقة اليوم من كات ووك جولة على اللكجري براندز ديور، ماكوين وبلو مارين، بالإضافة لكلوي وأليكسي مابي. انطلاقتنا رح تكون مع دار كريستيان ديور وجولة مفصلة بالصوت والصورة على مجموعة الريدي تو وير لخريف والشتاء 2013-2014.
I was blown away. I thought I'd entered another planet when I walked into that venue with those big silver orbs on the ceiling, and you could see it reflected everything in the blue sky at the end. So the venue was as exciting as the clothes.
Dior was amazing. Of course, you know, Raf just continues to hit it out of the ballpark. One amazing look after the other. And, you know, he's really kind of started this whole vintage charm that we're seeing everywhere.
August 24th, the Red Salon, the West Village, New York City.
Rafat Dior really sums up the two spirits of the season because he had that very simple shapes and that has the spirit of minimalism and great tailoring, but at the same time he can't resist some whimsy, and so he also has a lightness of touch.
All right. Raphael, I think I forget. He's so bad with birthdays.
We talk about what Brad did for his birthday, which was a pretty low-key affair this year. They had party hats and just sort of hung around in the backyard.
One of my favorite looks, leather on every runway, but a leather bustier, gorgeous strapless gown, but when the model went past him from behind, all bustled.
Yeah, we just sat in the backyard and we had some sangria, which was like...
Oh yeah, that hot afternoon in sangria, look out.
That was like... That was... Nice.
The Laurie Anderson soundtrack I thought was amazing. That really neurotic conversation with the vet and is my dog fat? I mean, this is the fashion world. This is the world, not just the fashion world. It's all of these things bombard you every day. And I thought it was interesting how he recreated that sense in the clothes with maybe something crashing through a coat, maybe a piece of fabric going around and stopping. Maybe the embroidery started on one side but continued on the back. These disconnects, juxtapositions that you're aware of. But the ultimate proof of why he's so good is that he makes it elegant in the clothes. You're not really aware of the head game that's going on. It's not all brain.
August 26th, the West Village Veterinary Clinic.
This whole idea of post-war Dior with the bar jackets we've seen, all this hip accentuation, and the idea of a nipped little jacket with a little bit of a stronger shoulder. It happened on the runway there for spring. And he continued that whole sensibility as he moved forward into fall. Houndstooth, a major trend on every runway, and certainly houndstooth, which was a coat of the house of Dior that Raf did. I loved it back to that interesting crafty crochet knit layered over the top of it, or smocking houndstooth, so it gave it an entirely different point of view.
Get her down, she'd be fine. I certainly don't want to see her coming back and continuing to gain weight. And she's already showing us that, you know, now that she's a mature adult, that she has the predisposition, if allowed, to gain weight. So we're going to try to circumvent that or hit it off at the pass. So
right now I'm giving her this kind of almost muesli type mix.
It's great to see a cable knitted strapless evening dress with a peplum.
Mixed with a little bit of burger.
Okay.
Dior was very polished, a little more relaxed than the last collection, a little less stiff and respectful of the codes of the house, and I think the better for it.
The first thing I would do is cut the table scraps out.
Okay.
And I know that interaction is always a good one. What I would do, does she accept healthy things as treats? In other words, if you were eating carrot sticks or something.
She does love carrots.
Raw carrots? Yeah. Keep raw carrots on the table.
It is a process. I think it's a step by step getting into the DNA of the Dior heritage. It's like learning kind of the craft and experimenting. And it's very humble dealing with like such a big heritage.
He's taking the elements of the Dior archive that he likes, which is really 1948, 49, 50, in that frame, where Christian Dior was really involved. And he's balancing Dior's modernity off the things that Raf finds interesting. He's not looking for parallels in the connections. He's looking for a sense of, well, what interested him and what interests me.
Those fit and flare silhouettes, that lovely pale pink color, that shade of pink, sophisticated, not too girly, the nod to Andy Warhol, the place prints, the waft-like dresses, wafting dresses.
I particularly noted that he'd put the Andy Warhol illustrations, not just on handbags, but on dresses. And it really reminded me of our own history at Harper's Bazaar, because, of course, Andy Warhol did those sketches for Harper's Bazaar.
Go after the DNA of the brand. He don't want to make their own line, but he worked for Amazon, and I think that he do in a great way, because he make an interpretation. There is not too much like a caption from a 50s, 60s, 70s. It's really more personal.
September 13th, Sean Kelly Gallery, Chelsea. I've been working on a project about walking, about taking long walks, and I'm interested in writers.
I thought it was a beautiful continuation of what he had done last season. I mean, the clothes are so sophisticated and elegant, and he had kind of an interesting surreal twist that went into the kind of Andy Warhol vein that I thought was, incredibly intelligent and interesting and beautiful shapes. And I mean, I think what he's doing is just amazing.
The staff of the gallery is French, so I asked them to read parts of the book just to see how it really sounded.
Je m'en allais, les poings dans mes poches crevées. Mon paletot aussi devenait idéal. J'allais sous le ciel, muse, et j'étais ton féal. Oh là là, que d'amour splendide j'ai rêvé.
What I loved about Dior is it's where you see the thought process toward what is new and what will be modern. Not futuristic, but modern.
Mon auberge était à la Grande Ourse. Mes étoiles au ciel avaient un doux froufrou.
I think there's a lot to be said for looking at the past to help define the future.
Je sentais des gouttes de rosée à mon front, comme un vin de vigueur. Ou rimant au milieu des ombres fantastiques, comme des lyres, je tirais les élastiques.
Raf's influence is incredible because he's one of the reasons that we're looking at more streamlined clothes right now. We're looking at more wearable clothes. Fashion and wearability combined on the runway, I think, has a lot to do with what he has done at Dior.
37.
A little nod to the past, but relevant and current for how a woman wants to look today. Gorgeous collection.
I thought it was an extraordinarily beautiful show.
He's talented. He's so talented, so there is no discussion about it.
من دار جار ننتقل للكولكشن الخاصة بأليكسي مابي للفول وينتر اللي كانت نصف خيالية ونصف فنية كلاسيكية ومستوحاة من رسومات الفنان الإيطالي جوفاني بولديني.
I want to buy you flowers. It's such a shame you're a boy. But when you are not a girl, nobody buys you flowers. I want to buy you flowers.
The makeup is half futuristic, half romantic. We have this beautiful base, nice skin, super matte. We work on also on a full eyebrow, but we're twisting in a futuristic way on the eyes. We're adding a silvery liner on the inside of the eye. High shades that push the face super hard.
Oh darling, please tell me you're the one.
The makeup is beautiful, just quite natural but still pretty.
Like no other girl did before.
It's a bit like a tattoo flower on the head. It's a very tiny head, and you have all these little flowers. Like it's Boldini, but like thinking modern.
You were so sweet, and I was in love.
It's very different, but in the same time it's like chic because it's haute couture, so it's kind of the vibe of the cloth, you know.
Because the flowers never last forever.
Bazier is totally part of the film, the collection, which is about Boldini, the painter, Giovanni Boldini. So I was inspired by him because I love the way he represents women. It's a kind of portraitist kind of picture, but in the way, the touch of the painting is very strong. Very like violent, there is a lot of movement, and I really wanted to go back to this movement in the dresses and even the range of colors by the collection. So it's you know a mix of Victorian vibes, Boldini touch, and of course in our time.
I'm wearing really long pink dress, all imprimé, with these flowers made by hand. So it's really nice, like a ballerina.
And for the hair, it was very important for us to make the girls without hair. So we turn it like this, and after we get this idea to pull like this the colors on it. And finally we use this amazing fabric, which is an invisible tulle painted with silicone, and it's glued on the hair after. You will see in the collection there is dresses all painted like this too. So.
Flowers in the back, so I have to pose like showing the flowers. It's so beautiful.
what I love in Boldini is that sometimes you have a woman, she's turning here, but the movement of the dress is going there. And so we worked a lot on drapés like this to make this a bit bizarre effect that you walk straight, but the dress is going on the side. And so it's crazy work, but this was really the base of the idea to use Boldini in terms of technique of painting, but even too in making a sensation which is a bit like bizarre when you see the dress, even if the dress is very classic.
لحظات وبنرجع لمتابعة كات ووك مع دار ألكسندر ماكوين. رحب فيكم مرة جديدة بكات ووك، والجولة التالية بتضم الهوز هو بمجال التمثيل والفاشن اللي اجتمعوا لمشاهدة عرض الأزياء الخاص بدار ألكسندر ماكوين لتصاميم الربيع والصيف، مثل سلمى حايك اللي تعتبر من أكثر المعجبات بمصممة ماكوين الديزاينر سارة بيرتون.
From the minute you walk in, you don't know exactly what it is. You hear the buzzing, and then she transports you into a place in her mind that it's very interesting.
It's always a spectacular tour de force when we see what Sarah brings to the runway.
She's so, as was Alexander, you know, they're really into their own thing in a great way that really connects to the world, and their ability to provide fantasy and pleasure, the pleasure of looking, the pleasure of wearing.
Every piece in McQueen is always like museum quality. It's like artwork, like really it's like artwork. It's so fun.
Worked with inside a bustier that looked like honey against the skin, and with a really up-close detail you can see little gold beads, little Napoleonic beads that were actually set in the resin cuffs on all the models.
It's a surprise when you come to the fitting. It's a surprise what it's gonna be, and then you see it and you're like, oh my god, like it's always amazing, and it's an honor to wear it and to be part of the show.
absolutely amazing. It always is. It's just, you know, McQueen word that is translated in so many ways, and each season is just more and more incredible.
I know that I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna find not this, but something that is gonna fit me, not the typical model. I'm like every woman kind of a body.
Jacquards that are woven to look like honeycombs, beekeeper hats.
Old style, you know, with the corset, you know.
And the things on the neck.
Yeah, and the things on the neck.
It's my favorite one.
Oh my god, amazing.
Amazing honeycomb skirts that were topped with the jacquard honeycomb.
Believe that I just did the McQueen. Everything was really amazing, especially the corset. Very, very tight. I love it because I feel like in an old movie, I was dreaming about this kind of dress when I was young, like be a princess and stuff. But it's like more, very, very, very modern princess.
And just huge cages that were covered in beautiful chiffon. And gorgeous flowers, because those bees have to pollinate somewhere. It's really always spectacular to be at a show like this. It's inspiring, and it's really why everybody's buzzing here after the show.
Watching this, it was almost hallucinatory in terms of how beautiful it was, and it felt as if you'd fallen asleep on the greatest summer day of your life, didn't it? After a great picnic, and then you just dreamed that collection, and then like a bee woke you up, you know? That to me is really what it felt like. It was really great, just full of imagination and full of deliciousness.
نبقى بباريس مع كلوي وجولة باك ستيج مع المودلز والميك اب ارتست ومصففي الشعر خلال تحضيرات الرنوي بمجال الألبسة الجاهزة.
handsome this season. We're doing light coverage foundation, evening out the skin tone. We're using a colour called Perfect Cheek, all tenderling, and it's just gently dusted underneath the cheekbone, onto the apples, into the temples, just giving that really natural, healthy glow to the skin. And then we're leaving the eyes nude, and we're just filling in eyebrows, making them quite boyish and straight, and taking the lips down with a little bit of foundation. So it's a really handsome look.
Very easy and clean, very natural, very Chloe.
It's my first time at Chloe, and it's kind of nice that we've switched things up a little bit, because whenever I think of Chloe, the quintessential Chloe woman, I always think of something really soft, very feminine, very girly, and very French, you know, this kind of French soft hair. We've moved away from that slightly. We've gone for something a little bit stronger, a little bit more masculine. And so we're doing low side part, really strong, immaculate, not a hair out of place at the front. And then this kind of natural, gorgeous ponytail at the back. I like the idea that the ponytail's natural, just to kind of signify that that Chloe girl, she's still in there somewhere. But this is just another side to her. This is her stronger side.
I love that it's very nice and fresh look. It's just about eyebrows, very clean.
It was this mix of trying to bring a bit more of a strictness, a toughness, but keeping the femininity.
Great Chloe, little prep girl, little schoolgirl attitude, with that touch of menswear tomboy that's everywhere this season. A lot of navy on the runway.
Lovely clothes, super wearable, amazing. Love Chloe.
As you are changing your style as you grow older, and you sort of play with those things that you know are your references. So you always love a white shirt, you always love blue, you always love these things. But it's like, how do you bring that in something new for today? And part of that was, for me, bringing in a toughness. So the hardware, the zippers, bags that are more slouchy, things that kind of give it an attitude. And that was a really important part of what I wanted to portray, was this girl isn't not so flowery. She's not someone who's just girly. And that's the attitude for me that is really right for the season.
I'm having a beautiful white dress. Very, very beautiful. Very easy, light, like flying between the skies and cloudless. So it's very nice.
I thought all the kind of tweeds and the wools and the day clothes were really the strongest part of the show, and they were great.
That idea of a little flounce, be it asymmetrical on a jumper, and I think a jumper is a really sweet little dress. It kind of goes day into evening.
about that idea of a strictness, something that feels quite polished. And so contained amongst that beautiful femininity, there is something that sets it off.
What I love about what I'm wearing is that it's very feminine, it's very nice, it has very cool details, and I don't know, it's just, it's beautiful, it's classy, it's ladylike.
Did a great job. She really hit her stride. I think last season she kind of mastered what the DNA of the house should be and is, and had a really great season that everybody loved. And then for fall, you know, she created a lot of wearable day wear looks.
It was really nice to see fabrics that are going to be creature comfort when we go into the fall season when it's not so hot. We've seen a lot of boiled wool, we've seen a lot of boucle, we've seen a lot of felted wools, which I don't love. But I do love to see wonderful little silk dresses. I love to see great little digital tweeds, not heavy tweed that's actually a woolen, but a photo print of a tweed on great looking dresses, and fantastic little plays on menswear everywhere.
It's pretty cool. I've got like this metal dress on. It sounds horrible, but it's actually really nice. It's like crisscross like mesh. It's got like bits of glass in it. It sounds like really uncomfortable, but it's not. It's really light.
The point of spree, you know, when I think of Chloe, I like a pretty little blouse, or I love a great little crisp cotton shirt. And of course, that whole idea of point of spree coming back for evening. Evening separates are a major trend. I know a girl likes to dress to go out at night, but I love that idea of a tiered skirt in black and navy or white on white back to a tuxedo jacket. There is nothing chicer than a little tuxedo jacket topping an evening look.
I just kept thinking like, oh, at last a show with clothes that aren't so obviously trendy that you know you're going to tire of them the minute you wear them. And it had that nice youthful spirit that Chloe should have. So, you know, coming on the heels of that big anniversary party where we got to see what the House of Chloe really is all about, I think she's really stepped into the shoes.
نبدأ القسم الثالث من كات ووك من نيويورك مع المصمم نيكولاس كي وجولة باك ستيج على الميك اب اللي كان رمادي حول العيون والشعر كان مشدود مع كليبس. خلونا نشوف سوا.
I don't wanna be
ننتقل على ميلانو ومننضم للمصممة أنا موليناري اللي استوحت من تصاميم الثمانينات ومزجت بتصاميم اليوم لتقدم الفول وينتر كولكشن الخاصة ببلو مارين.
Quest'anno abbiamo ritrovato nei colori, nelle forme, soprattutto nei colori la prima parte, che sono tutti colori pastello, le cose che io facevo quando avevo come fotografi Newton, Albert Watson, tutti i più grandi, Jürgen Teller, tutti i più grandi fotografi del mondo. Dopo la prima parte che rappresenta i miei sogni di fiori, di colori, del cielo azzurro e del mare, c'è la mia anima rock, che sono 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outfit, che sono maschili e femminili, e c'è un principe di Galles, c'è ancora uno tweed anche nella cappa di pelliccia bianca e nera. Poi abbiamo ancora la gonna farfalla, la cappa di pelliccia tutta traforata come fossero tanti fiori, che è veramente meravigliosa, un'opera d'arte, e il caftano di visone, però questo è amato moltissimo dai paesi arabi, questi capi, perché loro possono permetterseli. L'ultima parte è proprio la nouvelle couture moderna, cioè sono tutte gonne fatte come dei fiori, costruite con una incredibile raffinatezza, e alcune hanno i fiori, altre hanno con i colori pastelli, altre hanno i fiori con i colori black, del nero o del bianco, altri sono in pelle, e ancora il penultimo è tutto in pelle ricamato. Sperimentazione nei tessuti, ricerca nei colori, per esempio i completi di tweed che noi abbiamo visto con le maniche rialzate rosa e azzurro non sono di un tessuto unico rosa e azzurro, ma sono di un piccolo, di un cashmere a tweed, che si vede pochissimo il tweed, ma c'è, quindi tutta tendenza ricerca per dare questa armonia di colori e non appesantire troppo l'immagine. Gli accessori abbiamo messo poche borse, però sempre dei colori assortiti agli abiti, e i tacchi sempre alti in questa collezione, così io distingo la blu girl dalla blu marine. Un grande saluto a Fashion TV.
بريك أخير ومنتابع من بعدها لايف ان ستايل اند كو. بشوفكن بعد لحظات. وصلنا لفقرة لايف اند ستايل اند كو اللي بتابعوها اكسكلوزيفلي بكات ووك. وشو حضرنا لكم لليوم؟ ليتس سي. دايما بنسمع بالبرنتس فلورال دوتد باترنز، وموسم بعد موسم عم بتكون القطع البرنتد كي بيسز بخزنتنا. كيف معقول نلبسها ومع شو نلبقها؟ خلونا نشوف. ممكن تغيروا لوك بنسل سكيرت باختيارها برنتد وبتلبسوها مع توب من لون واحد وانكل بوتس. ما تخافوا تخلطوا برنتس، فمن الممكن تلبسوا برنتد بانتس مع توب كمان برنتد او بوتس برنتد، بس من المهم تعرفوا تخلطوا الالوان المناسبه مع بعضها واللي بتتناسب مع لون بشرتكم. الفلورال دريس منه بس للصيفيه، ممكن تختاروا فلورال لوك بألوان تتناسب مع موسم الشتاء. اختاروا فستان، جاكيت، بانتس أو سيمبلي سكارف. Geometrical prints أو playful prints متواجدة عند كتار من الديزاينرز لهالموسم، وإذا عم بتابعوا كاتوك دايما أكيد بتكونوا عم بتشوفوهم على الرانوي. ممكن تختاروا هيك برينتس على بومر جاكيت أو اوفرسايز سويتر وتلبسوهم على تنورة من لون واحد للوك ترندي. هيدي كانت حلقة اليوم من كات ووك، وترقبوا المزيد من التيبس، الديزاينز واخر صيحات الموضة بحلقة بكرة. قبل ما اترككم مع الفاشن ديفا اوف ذا ويك شير، بذكركم تبقوا على تواصل دايم معنا عبر صفحات فيسبوك وتويتر على الادرسز اللي عم تمرق قدامكم على الشاشة. See you tomorrow. باي باي.